heavy arms that linger on, that beat so long that you freeze on me. I know you're told, but I salvage the unknown. Solemnly, the lips you breathe, the words that one cannot conceive to be real. How does it feel? Please don't go. To make up a lie that you've been told, to take up a smile that you've been sold, and a heart that soon grows cold without me. Please don't go. Partially feeling the unreal, leaving me in sensory naivety, becomes so real in my soul. You'll never know. Please don't go. To make up a lie that you've been told, to take up a smile that you've been sold, and a heart that soon grows cold without me. Please don't go.
Alone here with you, there's nowhere else I'd want to be. You have love in your smile, and you know that I'd be lost without you. The words that you say change my thoughts in every way. I see love all the time, and it's you who keeps me in line. judge. Oh, I love everything about you. Gentle in reproach, always kind and letting go. You're the queen that brings relief. Yes, it's you who keeps me in line. I love the way you make me feel all of the time. I love the way you make things seem alright all of the time. Moment of time introduced us, brought us together, and now we're in love. I love the way you make me feel all of the time. I love the way you make things seem alright all of the time.
Waiting for my mind to heal, saying I'm not good to swing. I kinda like my friends to see how I move around to be. Waiting for my cue, right in, let this vibe right in. Don't hold back, give in. Wait for my cue. Take the lead with me. Dance your bottom three. Lift it high as trees. I never meant to lose my seat. I'm getting back my sex appeal. So go ahead and play that swing. I wanna move around to beat, to beat. Waiting for my cue. On three, clap your hands on three. Let your smile appear. Let's waiting for my cue. Take one step with me. Gotta warm up your feet. Bounce your butt to beat. Waiting for my mind to heal. Saying I'm not good to swing. I kinda like my friends to see how I move around to beat, to beat. Waiting for my cue to shake up some moves now. Getting my coffee to toe out. I'm dying to wake up my bones now. I've been too long now waiting, too long waiting on a beat. I never meant to lose my zeal. I'm getting back my sex appeal. So go ahead and play that swing. I wanna move around to beat, to beat. I'm waiting for my cue. Right in, let this vibe right in. Don't hold back, give in. Dance your body, hand your soul to me. Let the dance begin. Clap your hands.
there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us, above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world be as one. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. A brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world leave us one.
Hello everybody, and welcome to DeMars Live episode 22. Is it? Yeah, I think it's 22. Hope yous are all keeping well, guys. I'm delighted to see yous all very early to the show, tuning in. We have an amazing show for you once again today. We've got two fantastic guests that have been our picks of the week in the past, courtesy of the Maximilian Foy, the wonderful Maximilian Foy. We have the fantastic Anelise Furkin, and we have Matthew Redmond from Kind. And guys, these are in for a treat. So really looking forward to get the show kick-started. Just want to give Lindsey a big shout out for popping in nice and early. And Claire Nolan, of course, fair play to yous. We have Brew in the house. Brew, you are more than welcome here. Good to see you, brother. What is wrong with your laptop? Let us know. Maybe we can troubleshoot it for you. Because that doesn't sound normal, that you're in a time limit before your laptop doesn't work. Now that's a bit strange. We also have Eva Kozak, my sister, in the house as well. Eva, you're very welcome to my show. Yes, my show. It's my show, right? Isn't it? No, it's not my show. It's your show. It's everybody's show. Super delighted to get cracking with this one today. Really looking forward to chatting to these guys. Really great music, and yeah, we have a nice variety of tunes as well today. We're going to be playing music by TUATH, HONAS, and BECAH. So we got 3 tracks to open up the show, and yes, we have our pick for the weekend once again with the wonderful Rebecca Cappuccini, and we're going to be looking at HEKA. So we played a couple of their tracks. We played 1 or 2 tracks over the past couple of weeks from them, and I believe that they released 2 tracks at once. So Rebecca's going to tell us a little bit more about that. So yeah, guys, do pop in a message when yous come in. Let me know how yous are doing. Interact with me. You know, I'm here. I'm here, able to communicate. It's a two-way system. That's what I'm trying to say. I guess it's not like television. We're able to have our chit chats. So I'm always looking at the comment section as much as I can. Obviously, when I have a guest, I'm a little bit too busy. But do use that comment section because you can't use that when you're watching Netflix. Do you know what I mean? It's a one-way system. So here you get a chance to all of us to communicate essentially. So we got Maximilian Foy in the house. Good evening, folks. Tip of the hat to you, brother. Yeah. Good to see you, man. So yeah, and do hit that like button once you pop in as well, guys. And slap the subscribe. If it's your first time tuning in, hit that subscribe button. And there's a bell there as well, guys. So if you've been tuning in long enough, slap that bell button and get notified every time I go live. I'll be back live again on Tuesday, just to let you know, and then we'll be doing a little bit of a break. So on Tuesday we have our international segment, of course, and we have Consider This with Claire Nolan as well. So Eva's writing to me in Polish there. Pozdrowienia I Poznania. Oh, Jesus, okay. So I'm going to play a little bit of music for you. First bit of tune skis. So this is by TUATH. So this was sent in to us directly by the project themselves. So I didn't really hear much about them. I think Rebecca did a review on them. They did a tune with post-punk Podge not too long ago. So these are the guys. So they're an experimental and electronic rock band with psychedelic characteristics. They were formed in 2014 in Galway, and I think it only took them like 2 months to sort of establish themselves back then, and they started touring and gigging pretty soon off the bat. So they're mostly based in Donegal, but they were formed in Galway. They've been compared to Frank Zappa. They've released 2 singles this year. I Am Poor, But I've Got Cans. Yeah. And their most recent tune called Pay Your Taxes. How fitting. How fitting of the time of the year, right? So, yeah, I'm going to play Pay Your Taxes since it's in the season to do so, right? So this is TUATH and Pay Your Taxes.
Taxes.
As if everything is as it should be. Walk on, don't overdress, and escape away from a world of hurt. One life, no time. Kill another hour, kill another day. Kill them all off until they're gone away. Kill another hour, kill another day. Kill them all off until they're gone away. Kill another hour, kill another day. Kill them all off until they're gone away. Kill another hour, kill another day. Kill them all off until they're gone away.
Alright. So, our first bit of music, that was Tua initially there with Pay Your Taxes. We went straight into HONAS, Cash Machine, and this is his third release this year, his third single release. He's based between Dublin and, travels between Dublin and Berlin, as far as I know. That's all the information I could get. But what I do know is that he is releasing another tune on the 23rd of October called I Can Get You Out of This, which comes out, yeah, so that'll be next Friday. Is that next Friday now? Yeah, so what a genre shift, Lindsey. Yeah, absolutely. Of course, you know, why not? What, we're not going to listen to the same genre one after another, are we? Be a bit too boring. Just got some news in as well there that Benny, just Benee, did a sellout show in New Zealand, which I think there was about 6,000 people there. It's pretty amazing. A little bit of hope for the music events. Yeah, full stop there. So I just wanted to check this out quickly, just while the news is fresh. I want to see what it's like, and I'll just get you guys in on board of this. So I got a couple of minutes to kill, so we might as well hop onto this. Let me just launch this up for us, and check this out. I might skip through this, but this you wouldn't think this was now. This is now. This was yesterday, I believe. So looks like there's a little bit of hope left. I don't know Benny. I don't know if do you guys know this artist? I'm oblivious.
Through the stars, an adventure they encounter on a journey to Mars. Space girl looking at me, she has a silver heart. A robot boy not far from her, a body with no
singing through that
bones.
costume.
She takes a sip of magic potion and her head starts to explode. As he pours in her, I wonder who she fall for him.
Yeah, but this was yesterday. It's crazy. It's like no social distancing, no masks, it's safe. This is in New Zealand. Come on! That's dead. That's a great artist. I never heard of her before. That's very cool. That's very cool. Awesome. Really cool. So this was yesterday. Sorry, yeah. Anyway, that's in Auckland. That's in New Zealand. Benny, Benee. Never heard of her before. Let me know what you guys think of that. I don't know how it happened, how they're allowed to do that, how they're able to do it. I guess, yeah, I don't really know. But check it out. I just literally saw that today. Literally saw that during the stream now. So I figured, I'll share it with you guys. So give you a little bit of hope. Very cool. That almost sounded kind of Christmassy there. That little... You getting that Christmassy feel there a little bit? Glad you tuned in today, Claire.
Fuck yeah!
Well,
fucking hot!
in that flippin' space suit she's got going on there, really cool. Bit of hope just yet, guys. So yeah, let me know as well. I was gonna do the a poll as well. We're gonna bring back the polling system as well, by the way, and wanted to check as well what you think about the funding and all that stuff that's been coming in recently. I know Claire touched on it there on Tuesday, but we need to discuss this a little bit as well, just kind of get an idea of what other countries are doing. So I remember New Zealand, their prime minister or however gave a great bit of support there for artists. Was it a month ago? Was it 2 months ago? Feels like quite a while ago. In COVID times, right? And I'd like to compare that and see what they're doing now. But anyway, I want to see how the artists are funded over there at the moment. Are we still behind? Because I know that obviously the budget did state a few things, but you know, I wouldn't get too excited too soon, isn't it? As you know me, guys, I don't get excited about these things until the proof is in the pudding, right? As they say. So anyway, I'm going to fly in and bring in our first guest. I'm going to bring Anelise Furkin into the show, guys. She is a Brazilian singer and producer that combines intimate, introspective lyrics with the tools and sounds of lo-fi and neo-soul. That was quoted from Maximilian Foy. He wrote a wonderful, wonderful piece on her, which has been launched today. And I will share that on I have shared that on the DeMars Facebook page, guys. Do check it out. It's an absolutely lovely feature piece. And yeah, that's our release for the weekend. Yeah, slap a like, slap a subscribe, guys. And please give Anelise a very, very warm welcome to our show. Our first guest, guys. We've played her music so many times. We've given her a lot of praise over. We've really, really enjoyed her stuff. So really excited to have her on the show. So, Anelise, how are you?
Hello, I'm doing great. How about yourself? How are you keeping?
I'm grand. Yeah, no, thanks for asking. I'm doing pretty good, all things considered. You know, I can't complain. It's really nice to see you. We've kind of had an overexposure to yourself, you know, as of late. We've really been all eyes on you over the past couple of weeks.
Which I'm really happy about, to be honest with you.
Do you know what? It's lovely when that happens because, you know, it's so hard sometimes to branch out into other artists, like as well myself personally. So I'm just going to put it here on the screen now. So whenever it happens and we get introduced to somebody that's so interesting and that their music sort of moves us, and especially because Colin, you know, spoke so highly of you and really sold you well, I have to say, initially too. Not that it takes a lot to sell.
That's the perk of having good friends, I think.
Absolutely. He sells all of us in such high regard. So he's a lovely, lovely friend to have. So yeah, no, it's just a delight listening to your music. I'm kind of wanting more, you know what I mean, from yourself, because I only got to really listen to that one song that you have on Spotify, and I'm really, really etching to get more from you. So many questions I should want to ask you. But first of all, how are you keeping? How are you with music lately? And what are you getting up to?
Well, I think that right now it's a good moment for me because I've been in this thing of trying to like have a normal life, you know, like having a normal job from 9 to 5, and then if this quarantine gave me something, it was the fact that I really decided to like go for music and not be afraid, because I was very, very afraid of not having like my daily bread at a certain moment. And then that's the cool thing about Ireland, because Ireland gave me this confidence and this path that I didn't know that I could walk on, you know. So for me, it's been, although, I mean, it's sad because you can't see your friends, but at this time, I kind of turned myself into my own music and trying to find my own sound. And that's why you only have this song, because it took so much to kind of get into what I really wanted, like no pun intended with the name of the song. But it's like I really took my time to understand my sound and understand what I wanted to convey in terms of lyrics and in terms of sound, that I think that now that I found my niche, I'm gonna just keep on going and producing stuff that really is me, you know.
That is genuinely resonant with you.
Yeah.
But that's an amazing story. And when did you move to Ireland, and tell us a little bit about your emigration from Brazil? It's always fascinating to hear these stories.
So I moved to Ireland, I think 9 months ago. So not even a year yet.
What? Your English is fantastic, if you don't mind me saying
Thank you,
so.
thank you. I mean, I've been, I had this thing when I was in Brazil. I used to think in English. So every time I needed to do a chore or something, I would be like, okay. So I would talk to myself in English, kind of to train it. So I never knew what it's like. I never thought about moving out of the country. Like, you know, for us being so far away from Europe, it's so hard to come here, and it costs a lot of money. So it's a very distant dream. So when it actually happened, it was very special for me.
Which part of
So
Brazil are you from?
I'm from everywhere, kind of, because I was born in the northwest side, and then I was raised in the south, and then I went to São Paulo, which is the big city that everybody knows, and then I went back to my birth, like the place that I was born in, and then it's kind of like, I think that my path in life and my path in music are really intertwined, because I never found myself truly anywhere. And with my music, it was kind of the same. Like I tried a little bit of everything. So I sang a little bit of folk, which I still love, but I thought I needed to be doing something else. I sang a little bit of rock music. I sang a little bit of hip hop and soul. And I think that what my sound reflects today is this melting pot of a lot of things that I did throughout my life. And with my living as well, like when I decided to come to Ireland, was because I was working at a place that I didn't like, and all my friends were kind of going on with their lives and having their careers, and I saw that my life was too much like in a stasis phase, and I was like, I need to do something, but I feel crippled here, so maybe going somewhere else might give me the chance to like experiment some new culture and new things. And I was really excited to actually come to Ireland, because I always loved the culture. Like folk music is Ireland. So I was really into the sounds and the people, and the more I researched, the more I fell in love with it. So for me, it's a blast to be here, you know. And that's kind of how I came here. I saved money for a year, like never went out, never did anything cool, just stay in the house, saving money, and that's it.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, the fresh perspective, I'd say, is amazing. And the fact that you obviously knew English right before you moved here, so you already had the skills sort of prepared in that way. I mean, that can sometimes take a while to develop. So if you had that already, it's fantastic. So you can intermingle, I guess, within the music scene, which is quite unfortunate for you, because if you only started your musical sort of journey and you're only beginning to explore it in Ireland, which is obviously in Dublin or anywhere in Ireland, it's such an amazing network, you know, and such an amazing scene, and it's just almost inaccessible now, you know, the whole bar hopping
that's
and stuff.
the thing.
Do you play what instruments do you play? Do you play guitar? Do you play?
Well, I play the guitar, I play ukulele, and I play the piano, but it's not something that I'm comfortable doing, you know. I spend so much time focusing on my voice, and I've been a singing teacher for almost like, I don't know, 10 years now. And I focused so much on singing that I kind of forgot the instruments a little bit, and that's a problem for me because sometimes I want to play stuff and then I'm like, okay, I have to invite someone to play with me because I'm not like, I can't do it on my own. So I'm working on my instrument craft. So I hope that next year I'll be able to do my things all by myself, but a band would be very much welcome.
Well, you're not short on musicians living in Dublin, I'll tell you that. So that's definitely not going to be an issue. And your music is fantastic. I mean, the song that you released is lovely. Do you see it being able to transfer it to a live environment with a drum kit? Because I know it's quite digital. And how do you envision sort of transferring what you are in your production in your room or in your space and then onto a live stage? How do you see that?
Oh, I think I mean, for me, it's something that I like doing because I'm not only a singer, I also am a producer. So for me, it's kind of, it's a cool process to kind of reimagine the song. How is it going to be live and what kind of instruments I'm going to use. So it's fairly easy for me. And I think it translates very well into a live audience, not only for the fact that it is like a very quiet and calm song and you can do so much with it, because I think the more minimal, the more like you can go, you know, the more places you can explore. So I do feel like having a new perspective on live is going to be cool, you know, with drum kits and with acoustic instruments, maybe like with, I don't know, a saxophone. So I kind of my mind goes places when it comes to live gigs and everything.
It's awesome. No, it's great because of course, you know, it's you don't get that opportunity right now to do it. So I guess that perspective still needs to open up for you, right?
Yeah.
You haven't had the band experience yet, have you? Or have you had
No,
it
yes. If anything, I only have band experience, so that also
Okay.
makes it easier. And I never performed with this sound before. I performed it once with the producer that I was working with. His name is Shirt Sleeves. He's an amazing producer. He was the one that produced this song, and we did one gig before I left Brazil,
Okay.
and it was a cool experience because it's just you and the producer, and it's more intimate, and people really pay attention to you and what you were doing. But I think that with the band, it's kind of like you have that vibe where everybody's feeling the music together and everybody's kind of connecting. And I think this is super important, this energy thing that you share with people on stage. So for me, that's core. So that's why it took me so long to actually do like a solo career, because I was so used on having people, and that's something that I really love, having people and I never, like, I don't want to use my name. I remember saying this to a lot of my friends, like, I don't want to use my name. I want to be a part of the band. So that's kind of me. But now I'm kind of going away from it, and it feels comfortable. Like I think I'm ready to take this next step and be like a solo artist, of course with a band backing me up, but still like being a solo artist and everything,
using your name as the forefront. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's less pressure as well, I suppose, because of course, you know, once you're in a band, there's a lot of you know, beautiful things about it, but there's also a lot of things that can be maybe problematic at some certain stages. So depending on more people to actually even be part of the visual and the branding of the band can be quite tricky at times, you know. Like, for example, just thinking like Guns N' Roses, for example, you know, you have to have Slash in Guns N' Roses, do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, it's not, so in your case it is quite good. I mean, if I was a singer, let's say, or in your position, I would probably opt for your way too. It's just that little less pressure, you know what I mean?
I feel that too. Yeah.
And what's so you haven't gigged yet in Ireland? Did you go straight to, like, are you just working? Were you working full time? You said you mentioned you were just working full time.
Yeah. Well, I was working full time in Brazil, not in Ireland. So
Okay.
in Ireland, I was working part time. So thank God I wasn't too affected by by the COVID crisis. But I haven't actually got the chance to play in Ireland yet. So
Okay,
that's something
that's
that
what I was
I'm
going to ask.
really
Yeah.
looking forward to. Yeah.
Okay, so you haven't really tasted the music scene yet, so I can't even ask you what
No.
the comparison would be. And what is the music industry over in Brazil like? I mean, how does it operate? How do you get gigs? Do they pay
Yeah.
in original artists? How does it how's it like over there?
So I don't have nice things to say, I'm afraid.
That's
It's
okay.
just that's kind of the reason why I left, like
Mm,
I imagine that here, at least I feel that artists here really support each other. They want to
hmm.
collaborate with each other. Like I met this amazing guy, he's called Nathan. I
Oh
think you
yeah,
know him.
Nathan
So
Mack. Yeah.
yeah, so he's great. Like he was super supportive. He gave me tips. Like he was like, "No, if you want, I can introduce you to such and such." And you don't get this in Brazil. So for
Mm,
me, it was such an act of kindness and goodness. But in Brazil, it's
mm,
more like you have to be rich and you have to go to a certain school. Like, oh, these people here from this particular school, they're always going to be great because they have their rich friends and everything. So you have to be
mm,
rich. Nobody actually like wants to have some, I don't know, like there's no incentive. i
mm,
i remember lots of producers came to me and was like, oh, I'll be watching you, I'll be watching what you're doing next. Like, okay, so can you help me? Like instead of watching me. you know so like, and gigs were very hard, very, very hard. You had to have a producer or someone that could intercede this kind of thing. So it was hard to get someone that wanted to do that for you. So I struggled a lot. So as I
mm,
said, like I've been doing this music thing for, I don't know, 16 years now.
mhm,
And the very beginning was very hard, and then
mhm,
it kind of became easy, but then I went to the backstage of things. And once you're in the backstage of things as a producer, as
mm,
someone that kind of helps people to produce their own material, you
mhm,
kind of get left aside. So I really don't have cool stuff to say. It's
mm,
just Brazil is it's like a click place. If you're not part of the
mhm,
click, unfortunately, I don't see you making music there unless you're like extraordinary and do something that's really appealing to the masses, which is not my case.
mm,
I do introspective music. I am an introspective person, although it doesn't seem like it because I can't seem to shut up. But like I am that person. Like I like talking
mm,
about feelings. I like to talk about philosophy and emotions and things
mhm.
that people don't necessarily want to talk about.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, no, it's amazing. And what's it like? As you mentioned, you did a little bit of work with other artists as a producer. So
Yeah.
what was it like in that role? Can you tell us a little bit about that? Is there money to be made in that? Is there like what that's not the full question. But tell me a
Hmm.
little bit about the process over there doing that.
Well, as a producer, I think the nice thing, what I could take from that is that artists are amazing, amazing, amazing subjects, and getting to know someone and getting to know what they want to convey is the most beautiful thing that anyone could ever experience. Like I worked with artists that I'm so proud of, people that really wanted to, like
Mm,
put their voices out there, and it's so brave to actually be able to reach out to someone and like, okay, so I need help, I need someone to produce my work. And I
mm,
think it's, for me, it was a very, very gratifying experience, not only
mm,
because I understand music better, and when I'm producing my own songs, I kind of know uh, what effects to put in my voice, what works and
mm,
what doesn't, but also because you get to know people. And for
mm,
me, getting to know people and getting to know their work is an amazing process. And I like doing, especially in Brazil, I liked doing that for people that
mm,
weren't being heard, just like
mm,
me. Like there was nobody there to kind of produce their work and believe in them. So for me,
mm,
it was very, very gratifying. And apart, the money side is like I never charged for my productions because I wanted to help people.
mm,
But when you're a producer, you have other paths that you can like walk. Like I was a producer of musicians, but I was always also a producer of publicity work and audiobooks and jingles. I used to write jingles. So that's where the money lies. So if you're a producer and you're trying to like make some money, just go to advertising. It's the easiest road. You're gonna work yourself to death. You're gonna hate your clients, but in the end, you're gonna have a lot of money. So maybe if there's something, if it's something you like, might as well try it.
I like the approach. No, I get it, and I feel myself maybe perhaps in a similar sort of situation with regard to, let's say, doing these live streams, but then ultimately, there would be people looking for something a little bit more, looking for something like corporate-esque level. So I totally get that. Yeah, of course. And then you have to just work for the client, and then you can make a bit that way. But then ultimately, you're still supporting people, which is obviously clearly something that you are passionate about, supporting other musicians, and so you play within that role, which is great. What kind of inspired you musically? What kind of artists did you listen to, and what kind of brought you to where you are now, I guess? So you mentioned a little bit of folk before, and tell us a little bit of the genres, that perhaps your own personal journey as a musician and artist, and the artist that inspired you.
Well, so I think I started when I knew I could sing, I was really I was a little kid, and I started with the Celine Dion song for Titanic, it's just
great song.
And yeah, it is a great song. And it actually went from there, I just fell in love with music more and more. And I remember the first time I actually did something cool was when I played a song from Bob Dylan, actually with a friend of mine. I was in, I think, 6th grade or something. And then Bob Dylan was kind of my approach, because when I heard him, I was like, Jesus, because my voice is very soft and it's very sweet. And I used to love rock, and I used to love Evanescence and Nightwish and all those things. But it just didn't suit my voice, And I was like, okay, I want to be a singer, but there's no place for me. And then I started listening to folk and the Staves and First Aid Kit and all those beautiful women, and Johnny Mitchell doing those amazing, beautiful things with these sweet voices. And I was like, okay, so there is a place for me. And then I started doing folk music. And after that, I just felt like I kind of got into a comfort zone of doing everything in the same inflections and the same melody. So I kind of looked elsewhere, and then I found hip hop, which for me was important. Erykah Badu is a very cool influence for me. She was the first one that I listened to, and I was like, Jesus, that woman is amazing.
That's interesting. I only started following her on Instagram maybe about 2 months ago.
She is an awesome human being. She's a doula, which is, she's a person that brings child to life. She gives, how do you call it? The women that helps women to give birth. She's one of those people, and she does natural, natural, yeah. So she's cool.
She does natural really births cool. with them. What do you call that? Yeah, she's Jesus.
The name is doula, but I don't know how to translate that. And also she's just, I don't know, she's just amazing. Her
she's
voice,
extremely creative as well. She's very
her voice
out of the box.
suits me. Yes, she's just, I don't know. It's just I have no words for that woman.
Did you see her thing with Mark Ribelle? I don't know how to pronounce his last name. He's the guy that does the loops, and he's usually in bathrobes. He's always in the hotel room, and he did a segment with her. I don't know if you've seen that. It's great.
No, I haven't. I'm definitely gonna check that out.
I'll send you. It's great.
Great. Please do.
It's these two geniuses just working together, live doing show, just doing loops and making sounds and stuff. And she's crazy. And she's got this gold triangle on her head, this energy.
Oh
thing,
my God,
I mean?
she's. I mean, you never know what she's gonna do next.
Yeah, I love that.
For me, that's what an artist has to be about.
Unpredictable. Yes. I love it. Anyway, so go on. Tell me more about.
Then I started listening to Kimbra, which is I think she's Australian or from New Zealand. I don't know. And after I heard all the runs that she could do with her voice and the electronic sounds, I was like, okay, there is something that's innovative and creative, and she also has this sweet voice, and it's not a very powerful voice, because I love seeing soul singers like Aretha Franklin, and she has this like very powerful voice, and this is not my case, you know, so I had to be a little bit realistic. So after listening to Kimbra, I kind of went into like Gautier and all of this artists that she worked with. It was really alternative and indie and kind of super like soundscapes and ambiance. And then I thought like it was magic for me.
Mhm.
And then I started to get into more and more. And now I think that my biggest influences are Liane Lahafas, which is in England. She's an English singer, and she is perfect. Like she is perfection. If I should describe someone that changed my life, is that woman, because she plays guitar like no other. Her songs are just full of inspiration. And Ravina, which is another English artist, Cleo Soul, all of those female artists are doing their thing. You know, they inspire me so much, because being a woman in the music business is hard enough. And they are just outstanding. You know, they show me that I can actually try and make it into music, because they did it, you know, and they kind of they encourage women to do the same. So I really appreciate that they do that, you know.
Awesome. No, it's amazing. I mean, it's great to have great, like good what do you call it, heroes, you know, to sort of follow, and there's so many, you know. It's sometimes the kind of thing like, how do people find all these artists, you know, amongst so many amazing, you know. So a lot of the ones that I be listening to now are the kind of ones nobody listens to, as in the ones that are not saying a bad way, but the ones that are kind of more underground and more on the lower level. And I prefer that music. I prefer it. It's more real.
I think that that's the beauty of, let's say, streaming, for example. Spotify has this feature that every Monday you get new sounds. And that's basically how I discovered half of the people that I listen to, if not all of them that I listen to now. You know, so I know that streaming is like unfair to artists. They pay bad and everything. But at the same time, you get to know so many people that you would never imagine seeing anywhere else, you know.
Absolutely.
And that's special.
It definitely has its uses, and of course I use Spotify as well for this show, so I'd be quite lost without it. I have a playlist as well, you know, that I use, and as well a great feature is the play song radio or play the artist radio, so that's another great way of discovering artists as well that way. So of course, you know, I know it's horrible, like I've got a song on Spotify as well, so I'm there with all the other artists too in that way, you know, so I'm not like looking at it from a third person perspective. I get it, you know. I'm in there. So look, there's you know, Spotify is great, and of course there's other options too, like having your own website and stuff like that separate to that, where you can have your, you know, physical sales and stuff. What's on that note, like what's sort of a plan for you now? So you know, now you've released your sort of debut Spotify song, and it's great. You know, it is. I've already said it at the beginning, so I don't want to get you too resting on your laurels too much, Anelise. Okay, because
I won't. I promise.
Please, because I want you to keep writing and doing more. So, and we all do. We all really do. What's kind of your plan with regard to releasing music or just music in general? What's kind of your idea? Where are you at?
Yeah, so now I'm started working with new producers, and I'm kind of building a team, and I'm just like writing a lot and making a lot of melodies to kind of turn them into songs. And I intend to release something like a full EP on December. So hopefully it'll be in Spotify by Christmas. And I'm just writing and being creative. And I'm having the time to do that now, which is great. So for now, I have a song coming up in 2 weeks.
Amazing.
And it's a more upbeat song, and it's a cool song. I like it. And after that, I'm gonna dedicate myself to doing my EP, and that's it. So I'm just excited to go on this path, you know, like being a full-time musician. That's something that I never thought I was gonna say, but I'm glad I'm saying it now, and I'm glad that I finally made my peace with being a musician and like trusting myself to do this, you know.
It only took you a flight to Ireland and a pandemic and a global pandemic
Exactly.
to make you a full-time musician. I feel like an article title coming up here after your EP release, perhaps. So that might be something that we can slap into DeMars Entertainment, perhaps an interview or something, or a written interview. And Anelise, I'd love to be back in touch with you. And
Oh, I would love that, really.
yeah. That just really want to be part of your journey. I think it's really fascinating as well, the story you have. There's a lot much more I know we could delve into and speak about. So I've had to, unfortunately, in 30 minutes, you can only sort of go over skim the top layer of a person and sort of their background. Thank you so much for coming onto the show. It was a pleasure to finally meet you, have a little bit of a chat with you. I wish you the very best with your upcoming releases. Please stay in touch with me. Don't be a stranger. You have automatically we have built the bridge now. We've built the connection by coming onto the show. So
and I'm really, really happy, and thank you so much for having me. Really, it's a pleasure, and you have no idea how much that means to me, actually, because it's something that never happened. So I'm really, really happy with everything. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for calling, to like giving me this opportunity to show my music, and like just people hearing me, that's the most amazing thing in the world. So thank you very much. And obviously I would stay in touch. I would love to.
Please do. Let us know if you have a what do you call it? The pre-save. If you're doing the pre-save link, send it my way, and we'll share it around through our community, because everybody watching already as well know you at this stage, So and thanks to Colin, it is thanks to Colin, because he has been introducing some amazing artists. Matthew Redmond from Kind, who is joining us straight after you as well. So we've got like a Colin special this evening. It's like
I love it.
So he's bringing us. I'm so grateful that he's with me, and he's helping me out with this. So amazing, Anelise. Welcome to the Irish music industry. Welcome to the deMartians. And have a wonderful weekend. Take care.
You too. Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye. Guys, that was the wonderful Anelise Furkin, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for enjoying that. I'm sure you did. That was a really, really good chat, I have to say. Maximilian Foy, what an absolute legend. There he is in the chat. We got Keito in the house. Keito, what's the story, man? Yes, that's midwife. Yes, thank you for that. Thank you. What did you guys think of our conversation, our first guest? Let me know what you thought. I thought that was fantastic. It's so great to see a musician finding themselves in a full-time role, as it should be. So really, really delighted. We're going to be supporting Anelise, I'm sure, for the next indefinitely, I suppose. Indefinitely. She's going to be releasing a track in 2 weeks, as she mentioned, and we'll be expecting an EP as a Christmas present. So really looking forward to that. Her tune is up on the independent music playlist that I set up there for DeMars Entertainment. So do check that out, guys. And of course, you know what I'm going to say. Give that stream a bleeding like, guys, if you are enjoying it. And if you are new, welcome. Do hit the subscribe button. And yeah, you'll be notified if you hit the bell. And you can get notified whenever I go live, which will be this coming Tuesday. Then there's going to be a little bit of a revamp break. Yes, I know, guys. Every time I leave, I come back with something new. So I always look forward to these little revamp breaks. There's always something to improve on, as always. So yeah, we're going to do our pick for the weekend with Rebecca Cappuccini. So let's welcome her to the show. Do. See if we can get her in. Oh yeah, okay, let's see. Bam shwicka wow. Brilliant, guys. Well, Rebecca, how are you?
Hello, how are we? Hello, deMartians. This is Popcorn Money.
Okay, let me just put you on screen first. So you got a little kitten with you today. Let's get some little kitten.
So this is Popcorn Money. He's very cute. He makes my life very happy, but he attacks me all of the time and is obsessed with the laptop, which means that it's quite complicated. right now. So yeah, we're here for the pick of the weekend. But before we do that, I wanted to do a few spark joys. So today I had the utter privilege of going to the woods and reconnecting with nature and seeing all the beautiful mushrooms growing. They're so pretty this time of year, and all the leaves falling, and the kitten. And I received all these really cool Irish music industry things. So I have a Carrie Baxter tape, because tapes are back now, and that's really important to support local artists and buy these really cool things, because I finally have a tape deck that I can play it on, and now I can play a Waterford artist on a tape deck, and it's not just a mixtape from a boyfriend from when I was 12. And then this incredible album, it's really, really, really good. It's called Personal History, and it's getting really, really rave reviews all everywhere, and I would recommend anyone to go look at that. And you might remember I actually did a review of Hemet a few months back by Neva Regan, and now I finally have the vinyl to go along with that, so I'm very grateful. And best of all, it came with a little note thanking me for my support, and I think doing things like that is just really important. I also went outside of Ireland this time, and I bought one of my idols. Her name is Shitkid, and she is from Sweden, and she has agreed to do an interview with me next Sunday on Viking Promotions. So that has me extra buzzed and delighted. I wanted to take a moment to just say, Kozak, what you did on Thursday was amazing. I wasn't expecting you to talk about me so nicely and congratulate me and wish me a birthday of being a Vi Queen. I was actually on a first date at the time, so you bigged me up to the lovely chap who's currently in my kitchen watching this, going, yeah, that was weird, because I'd spent 30 minutes, literally 30 minutes talking about how much love I had for you as a brother and everything you do and support me with, and literally seconds later you go on and do the same thing. He was like, that's the universe working and sending that love back to you. And I was like, that is just so beautiful. So the deMartian community, you're all incredible and lovely, and I'm so happy to be here. We're actually traveling to Bristol this time, okay? So HEKA are from Bristol. They're a 5-piece synth band, and what I'm going to do is a little bit different. A few months back, Kozak posted the first release, which is called Fake Smile, and that's very reminiscent of the 90s. There's kind of an incredible Chase the Sun vibe. Do you remember that song by Planet Funk? And it's like, you know, Chase the Sun, that's what I really got from that. And then there's Kings of Leon elements, and the script even within the voice that he uses in that, and I found that really interesting. And then on Friday they released an 80s song, so it's called Club 80s, and that's got all this pure synthy beautiful vibe to it, but it also has kind of like a hair rock guitar riff that comes in out of nowhere and just really brings you back to the 80s. But they sent me their EPK, and on the 29th of November, we're in for another treat, because they are about to release umami, and the name itself obviously comes from the Japanese for flavor. It's what happens within the Japanese culture in the food and how they make food explosions. And this song that's about to come out on the 29th of November is incredibly explosive with sound and flavor and taste. So those 3 tracks from this one band called HEKA are hella good. It's no surprise they're called HEKA. It's no surprise that their noise works so well as a 5-piece from Bristol. I cannot wait to see what comes after umami, and I cannot wait for you all to discover more of HEKA. So that's it for me with the pick of the weekend, dudes. Do tune in to Kozak. Do support DeMars magazine. I'm working hard looking through all the EPKs at the moment to see the wonderful music out there. I actually had this really beautiful moment this weekend where I discovered a Waterford artist I had never heard of before. His name is Robin Healy. He sounds like a mix between Mark Ribier and Mac DeMarco. So if those are the styles you want, you need to watch it. He's incredible, and he doesn't seem to be getting the recognition he needs. So that is Robin Healy. There's a 38-minute version of him doing a tiny desk in Canada on a balcony, and it's just beautiful. So that's it from me today. Stay amazing, stay magic, stay positive, and reinforce each other's qualities the way only our community knows how to do.
All right, guys, that was our pick for the weekend with the wonderful Rebecca Cappuccini. We were listening to HEKA there, Club 80. Rebecca, thank you so much for doing a wonderful, wonderful segment once again. And as always, I think I said to her there, I think that was your best one. So we're just getting better, bigger, and our community's getting just larger and way more supportive. It's amazing, and we're listening to some fantastic music. We're having some wonderful, wonderful guests. Speaking of guests, we are joined by the wonderful, once again, Matthew Redmond from Kind. Matthew, how are you keeping, brother?
Not too bad. How are you keeping?
I'm good, man. Yeah, but it's a Saturday. I don't think the days even matter anymore in my life.
I've lost all concept of time these last 6 months. It's all one big blur.
Yeah, it's crazy, which, I don't know if what's going to happen once things go back to normal, and then, I don't have this feeling, this blurred feeling, if you will. Am I going to feel uncomfortable about it, or,
we're all going to miss this. We're going to be like, oh, I wish I could stay in bed forever and not have any responsibilities. But
absolutely, yeah.
I do wish for that day to come, but, patience is key, I suppose.
Absolutely, man. But you seem like you've been keeping quite busy yourself. What have you been up to as an artist? And tell us a little bit about how your lockdown's been. I suppose I know that's a little bit depressing to talk about, maybe.
Well, I was kind of, I would say, lucky enough that I was writing a thesis for the best part of it. I just finished BIM Dublin, studying there, so
congratulations.
Thank you so much. Yeah, and I was lucky enough to just have some sort of schedule where I was like, okay, don't need to worry about anything, just do college work. And it kind of, I know it sounds bad, but it worked out in my favor. I was like, great, I have time. Like, all my gigs are cancelled, everything's done. I get to sit down and write 8,000 words.
Wow.
So yeah, and obviously the other assignments as well I had to get done. But after that, it was kind of like, I was thrown in the boat with everyone else who was kind of wondering what to do with themselves. So I've been kind of just sorry.
When did you finish? When did you hand in your thesis?
Oh, I think it was they delayed everything. It was definitely, I think, the end of May-ish.
Okay.
I can't remember. I know. Removed that thesis part out of my brain now.
That's great.
But yeah, since then I've just been kind of like, okay, as a musical artist, what can I do? How do I take advantage of this time? And it took me a while, because I think we're all in the same boat. We're just like, oh, well, maybe in another 2 weeks, it'll be back to normal. And then 2 weeks comes, and then it's like, oh, maybe it'll be another 2 weeks and things will be back. And then, so I kind of had to accept it then. I was like, okay, need to crack down, do something. So I've just been kind of moving along with my band, Kind, and then I decided to organize that Don't Stop collaboration project, which kind of was a great load of fun. And I mean, everyone was stuck at home, so everyone was happy to do it, I think. And I've just been one musical project to the next, and trying to maybe make some money as well, hone in on my skills as like mixing or producing or singing, guitar playing, whatever I can do, really.
Awesome. Yeah, that video you did is actually fantastic, I have to say.
Thank you so much.
So Colin introduced that to me, and introduced yourself to me, of course, as we all know.
Yes.
And Fix of Dopamine, man, is just such a great track. When did you record that? When was that recorded?
So that was, the drums are done not this summer, but the summer previous, and it was before we had any social media or anything. And my drummer Ryan, he's great for like kicking me into action and giving me like these,
drummers usually are, I've noticed.
He gives me these lowdowns and really makes me question like my purpose in life, in the best possible way, of course, but he's just like, okay, well, where do you want to take this band? What do you want to do? And I was like, well, I want to play to people, and I want to have people listen to my music. And he's like, let's record. We could come out of nowhere with this single. And I was like, that's a great idea. So we got working on that. It turned out that we eventually got like a support slot, and then that turned into a headline slot in Chennai, and then we ended up playing the Soundhouse. So, which I was glad for. I mean, coming out of the blue with the single probably wouldn't have been the best marketing strategy, but it's certainly that little intervention Ryan gave me was very beneficial. So yeah, it's just we recorded drums, and then things were looking very expensive. So I was like, okay, well, I can record things at home. Charlie, our bassist, can record things at home. At the time, Jane hadn't got her recording set up, but she was up and down to Dublin. So I was like, grand, I'll nab you, record some vocals. And yeah, it all just kind of came together, luckily enough. So yeah, and again, it kind of worked out that we released it during the lockdown. Everyone was stuck at home with their Spotify ready to go. So I mean, it was great. It was great.
It's a great track. So
thank you so much.
Yeah, definitely a lot of work put into it, I have to say. Like the production quality is great. It's fantastic.
Thank you.
And the song itself is. Dude, tell me a little bit about your guys' influences. Like, where are we going? Because I mean, I'm sensing, like, you know, I'm getting into almost prog rock territory at certain stages, you know, and that moment where it changes maybe twice, doesn't it? In my head, like when that riff comes in, and then you've got these amazing ear candies going on in the background as well. These kind of synthy sounds and whatnot. I think that's fantastic. What's kind of the inspiration that kind of that's getting you that sound? I'm going to play it to the guys after, just in case. But we played it whenever it was a couple of weeks ago, or maybe it was last month, or maybe it was May. I don't know. Like yourself, couldn't tell you. But tell us a little bit about the influences.
Well, I'd say at the time, Radiohead was a huge influence. And there's a video actually that I made the journey of Fix a Dopamine. You know, I figured with all this time I can really promote it. So there's the video on our YouTube called The Journey of Fix a Dopamine, which details the recording process. But yeah, Radiohead was a big one. And I'd just started kind of in college, first year, second year. I just started kind of looking into prog rock, Porcupine Tree, Stephen Wilson, Pliny and stuff, all stuff like that. And I was like, you can just kind of go anywhere with this. But at the same time, I didn't want to do the big 17-minute 7 guitar solo, big ambient section breakdown. You know, I wanted to have some like semblance of melody and
you want to start off small, and then you'll get to that. Yeah,
someday. Yeah, exactly. So basically I just
we actually lost you for a second there.
As well,
sorry guys, we're losing connection a little bit with Matthew here. Matthew, we lost you for a couple of seconds there.
I wasn't too confident in my singing. Amazing singer. She's renowned.
Okay, sorry about that, guys. We seem to have got a little bit of lag issue there. Let's see if we can try it again. Hey, all good? Looking? Oh, that's perfect. Yeah. Okay. That's crazy. Yeah, no, we lost you for like a good probably 30 seconds there.
Oh God, I was just talking into my webcam.
Yeah, and I could hear little bits coming in and out, and it was just like, there's this. It's just internet issues. It always happens with the Zoom thing. But sorry, we lost you. Let's kick it back where did we finish? My goodness.
Yeah, well, I was just gonna say, I just wanted to give Jane a well-known around BIM, and I'd worked with her before in BIM, and I was like, will you sing this original song I wrote? We had to do it for an exam in the college, and I was super happy with her, like, kind of not interpretation, but like delivery of, you know, it was kind of like what I had in my head, and she delivered, and even more, you know. So I was delighted, and yeah, I was just kind of, I thought, okay, this is an original song. I've got like great like musicians that I love working with,
Mhm.
and you know, I was like, okay, maybe I could make a band out of this. So that's kind of it. All started with Fix It Dopamine.
Awesome. No, it's great. What did you study in BIM? I might have missed it. Which way did you go?
I studied guitar.
Mhm.
So yeah, just finished my degree in that.
Isn't that a great thing you can say? Like, you know, I just did my degree in guitar, like commercial music and through guitar, right?
Yeah.
How was it for you? 4 years, long
Yeah,
time.
you get the law students, you get the chemistry students, and then you get the guitar students.
Yeah. That's pretty amazing. Like, how was the experience of doing it? Actually, tell us a little bit about it. Do you recommend it? What's kind of your perception of it?
I loved it. I loved BIM. I handed in to, you know, reiterate the thesis thing. I handed in my thesis, did my last assignment. I was like, oh, I really want to do it all again, you know.
Wow.
It's just, it's such a great atmosphere in there, and like, I was warned. I was kind of thinking, oh, musicians, you know, they're all artists. You could be a bit, you know, I had my doubts. I was like, oh, could be a bunch of, you know, wannabe Morrissey's or whatever it is, but everyone, like 99% of people I come across are just so welcoming. They're so open, and like, I think you have to be, you know. And it's just, I really enjoyed it. Some people might disagree, and there's certain, it's not perfect, but I had a blast, you know. And I think most of the band would agree with me. You know, two of them are in their final year now. Charlie and Ryan are bassist and drummer, so you get to get a review off them as well at some point.
It's great because you know, I did a stint there. I did a year diploma in drumming, you know, before I flew off to Canada. So that was I was kind of just trying to get something as well before I left Dublin, and I had an amazing experience. You know, I thought it was fantastic. Teachers were brilliant. They knew, you know, what they were talking about, and of course, people that went there, you know, majoritively, you know, were hugely passionate about music and wanted to do it in a full-time, you know, environment, which is something that, you know, as I was speaking to Anelise there earlier on, is kind of like, it can take a while for one to sort of accept that it's possible to do it full-time almost. Do you know what I mean? That it's possible. Of course, now under the circumstance, you know, it's a bit more difficult. It's still doable, right? Yeah. But colleges like that done well, which I think it is done well, you know. I haven't done the 4 years, but majority of people that have come onto the show that went to BIM, you know, would speak highly of it and recommend it to people. So it's a great thing that's there. And it's great you have musicians from there as well, like, you know, together, because you know that they're, you know, committing to their craft. You know, they're practicing, first of all, because they're doing it, you know, for the college, for their studies, you know, just like, you know, the song was written because, you know, you had an opportunity to write it, right? It was given to you. Are you guys still writing? How are you guys writing now during these lockdown environments? How do you find writing right now?
It's tough. It's tough. Like, usually the process is that I write the kind of the music, then I'd write the lyrics and melody, and kind of the structure, and I'd have like maybe a phone recording, maybe a basic 2-part recording of the full song, and I'd send that to the guys. And what I loved, like in the early days and when we were able to meet up and rehearse, it was I'd have this kind of bare bones layout, and then each person would put their own stamp on it. You know, Ryan would come up with the last groove I could ever think of in my mind, and then Charlie would put the last bass line I could ever think of, you know. Just and I think that's like the most exciting thing about working with musicians, is that like you've got 5 or 3, 4, 5 personalities that all come from themselves into their given instrument. And you know, when you combine them and when they're all symbiotic, which I feel the kind is, I really hope that it all works and people don't think, Jesus, that's such a train wreck. But anyway, you know, I just love
it's fantastic
hearing everyone's. I'm super happy. More is to come, but yeah, at the moment I'm kind of making demos and putting drums on, and it's fine, but I just really miss Ryan putting in a silly fill, or Owen, our other guitarist and keyboardist, coming up with his crazy ideas, which we can still do to a point. You know, we're working on a single now, and you know, it goes through each stage: the drums first, bass, guitar, whatever, and you know, they can all still add that, but it's just great hearing it in real time, you know, in the same room. Yeah.
And tell us a little bit about the bonus track as well you released, so Sun. It's a little bit more stripped back. Tell us a little bit about how that came around.
Okay, so with Sun, originally for the entire time, it was gonna be one single, Fix It Up, mean all the band members on it. Grant, release that. And it was something that I noticed that not Dublin bands, any bands really, they released the one single, and like for someone like me, I'd check them out, listen to the one single, and then go about my day. And you know, that's grand. But I was like, okay, well, what if, you know, even if we had two singles, then they can listen to the first one, listen to the second one, and then by the time they finish the second one, they might want to listen to the first one again, you know, just something basic like that. So I was like, it wouldn't be a bad idea. So I was working on this demo that I'd originally planned to record in Sun Studios with Devoy Records, that we had our live session there, and I was planning to do it there, but it ended up being just two songs that we did there, and because we just didn't have time. So I was like, Grant, I'll keep this demo. And then I started fleshing out the demo, and I was like, okay, this isn't actually sounding half bad. So I was like, I didn't tell any of the band. I was like, I'm just gonna keep going, and if it comes out okay, then I might just stick it on. And yeah, I did it. I mixed it, and I was like, okay, I think I can send this out, and I'll just be like, okay, it's a bonus track. You know, you have the main track. If you don't like it, it's just a bonus track. Don't worry, you can skip it. But luckily, I think a lot of people have really enjoyed that one as well, which means the world to me. Like, it really does. So yeah, expect more bonus tracks in the future.
You know, it's great. No, and I like that method, and I like your way of thinking. Definitely, it makes a difference. What's happening as well, and what's happened to me even, was when I listened to that, I couldn't help but want to listen to Sun. You know, I had to listen to it. Plus, I'm on your Spotify for an extra, 3 minutes or however, the length of Sun, let's say, you know. So I have the follow button staring right at me for an extra 3 minutes. So obviously I'm still following any artist, you know, that comes onto the show anyway. But if I was like not in this position, you know, that's still staring my face a bit longer. So it's interesting. I think it's a really good if you can do that, it's great. And tell us a little bit about, you mentioned really briefly about something that's, you know, a song that's coming our way soon. Can you tell us a little bit more? What's kind of the sort of the date or the
we have a couple of things. They're all kind of working together, working in tandem, I suppose. So a couple of months before the lockdown, we worked with I wouldn't say an organization, but it's just one guy. He started this brand called Devoy Records. And they, if you want to check their YouTube out, they have just the most perfectly polished, produced video and audio from Sun Studios. And he's the guy Thomas, he runs it, and he just knows what he's doing. He's starting this. It's very much in the early days, but he got us in, and we recorded 2 songs with him, with audio and video, live in Sun Studios. So we're just awaiting the mixes and the video final edits for those. So hopefully we'll see them very soon. And then we've got other little surprises as well, Kozak. Don't you worry. We've got lots coming up. If I know Thomas is flat out working with a load of artists, so if he doesn't get around to our stuff, we have something up our sleeve just in case, you know, something to keep everyone keep everyone on that follow button, you know, and loads of bits going on, and hopefully another single sometime in the new year.
Fantastic. Well, I'm not going to pick at you anymore and try to find out what is coming up. I am a man that does like surprises. Initially doesn't, because is impatient because I want to hear what's going on. But when the surprise happens, I'm more grateful ultimately. I checked out Devoy Records. That looks great. They have a couple of videos up there, and they're only about a year kind of old. It looks fantastic. The quality looks great already just from looking at the thumbnail. I'm looking forward to getting that. Is that a track? That's a track that you have already recorded, right, in Sun Studios, and will be released separately, right? So you get the video and then the single. Single, I guess, on Spotify will come out before, right? The video, or however.
I'm not sure. We'll work out all those details, but both
Okay.
will be in both places at some point in time.
Right. Look at me. I said I wasn't going to pick at you, and I did it anyway a little bit. I was trying to get at you sideways, you know, psychologically. I don't even realize what I'm doing.
You nearly had me, and I'll give you that.
Jesus. And tell us a little bit about the projects as well that you were sort of keeping, like a little bit more, let's say. You said you were trying to do something with, like, financially as well with music and stuff like that. Was there anything kind of different, or did you, I know you did the music video as well. Tell us a little bit about that actually very briefly. And then tell us a little bit about any other kind of projects that you sort of took, or something different that you did over the lockdown. But the music video that you did, because I unfortunately just left my brain. I can't remember which song you did again, so my apologies.
The collaboration, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Don't Stop by Fleetwood Mac.
Oh, there we go.
Was that. So yeah, that was just, I had just finished all my college work, and I was like, okay, you know, I usually see people do these things, and I get the itch to put something out there of my own. So I put it up just on Instagram. I was like, hey, thinking of doing this cover of a Fleetwood Mac song. Who would be interested? You know, as like Instagram is just such a great tool for artists and musicians. So I got like a good few people. Jane and Owen from the band got in touch, and they're like, yeah, we'll do it as well. So, you know, I knew they were lovely, talented musicians, so I was more than happy to have them on board. But I got a good few messages. Some people I couldn't include just because I was like, well, I can't have 3 drummers, but 4 guitarists, sure, why not? So, you know, there was just so many, and I was like, I'll try fit as many people in as I can. But yeah, it was great. Like, I was like, Grant, I'll you know, 2-3 weeks, I'll do that. Took me, I think, 2 months to at least 2 months, maybe more, to get everything in preparation.
It sounds like a lot of work. What was the hardest part for you, or what caught you off guard, maybe?
I think. I don't know. I wouldn't. You see, I enjoyed every second of it. I was like, I think that the hardest part was I wanted to do everything now. But I knew if I wanted it good, I knew I had to be patient, and I had to wait. I was like, I'm not gonna just like get the vocals recorded at the same time. I was like, I'm gonna get drums. I'm gonna do kind of my usual step by step, drums, then bass, then guitars, then piano, whatever it is, step by step. I'm just going to be patient. And obviously everyone had their own schedules, and you know, people were trying to, some were working, and I just like really wanted their tracks, and I just had to kind of be like, okay, you know, take your time. Like, obviously I wasn't paying any of them either. It was a total, like, this is just a collaborative project. If you want to, you can do it. If you don't, it's no problem. But I just gathering the tracks. I mean, once I had everything and once I got stuff, I was, you know, delighted. I wouldn't say, you know, it was just being patient, I would say. Was the toughest
especially
bit,
during a lockdown, I guess, right? And especially during the pandemic, and obviously people are dealing with it differently, and
Exactly.
I think it's great that you did something like that, obviously, for the fact that, you know, it, like you said, you were busy with your dissertation, you know, or with your thesis, you know, you were able to be distracted. So it's quite good to give musicians obviously something to do as well during those times. So, but also it can be, you know, there's a bit of unmotivation as well, which it's all
For sure,
absolutely
for sure.
understandable and absolutely fair, and I totally see the position you're in. Do you know what I mean? And but it turned out so well, and fair play to you. Did you do you did the mixing and all that jazz?
Yeah, so it was the first time I mixed live drums, and I kind of just sat down. My dad has this big stereo from God only knows when, and just lovely big speakers. And I sat down in the middle of the room, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna spend the day here, and like just slaving over the mix. But yeah, it was great. Like I loved it, and it's really worth it when it gets shared and people are like, oh, I really enjoyed this. It's just you forget about any work involved. It's just really really heartwarming and really rewarding with anything that you put your time and effort into. Like it's just really great. And even the likes of you saying you appreciate fixed dopamine, it means the world. Like even though it's a very easy thing to say, but to me it just means so much. And to all the band, just we really, really appreciate anyone taking the time. So it's just like when you ask about work, it's just like can't even pin down what the work part of it was.
That's awesome, brother. And it's great to hear that you are like genuinely grateful, you know what I mean? As in like genuinely like just appreciative. I mean, it's always really nice. You can tell that you're just like a really nice dude, I have to say, you know what I mean? So here's another fucking compliment for you to to have to take on board. No, I'm only messing.
Oh Jesus.
I absolutely love it. No, it's lovely to meet. It's nice to meet nice
I'm
people.
sweating profusely right now.
Stop, you're all right. And tell us briefly, because I could chat to you. We could delve into the same way Anelise earlier, and I was saying to her, you can delve into so much detail with a lot of these things. Yeah. And I know I can tell as well. There's a few things we have in common with regard to project management and good music. So tell me, what else did you kind of get up to? You mentioned a few different things. Is there anything else you'd like to sort of mention? And then we're going to play Fix It Dopamine as well to close off.
Amazing. I mean, I'm kind of just working on my mixing and production skills at the moment. I'd kind of realized as BIM went on that I'd love to be a mixing engineer or someone like who produces a song. Like I love all that, as you said, all the mad noises and stuff. It's just like I would love to take your song and put all that stuff in, but yeah, I'm just trying to just up my game in every regard and write as much music as I can. It's for me, it's a kind of tough time to write because it's just like, what are you doing all day? It's just like
not
the same as I have for the last. So but yeah, and then a few kind of little bits of graphic design work as well. Very little now, but I'm just trying to kind of have as many feathers in the cap as possible,
Yeah, no, you're too
I suppose
right.
without gigs.
Yeah, you're too right. No, I mean, of course, and you're saving a lot as well. With regard to time, reliability as well. You're depending on yourself to get things done like that. So upskilling is amazing, So I've definitely spoken to a lot of people that do that, and obviously, you thrive on it. Then it's sort of, it doesn't become almost work in a way, like you say. You're kind of doing it out of the love. You're fueling it into something that you are clearly passionate about, which is music, and your new project as well, which is awesome. So listen, brother, it's such a pleasure to touch base with you. It's always nice. Maximilian Foy always knows good people, so I wasn't even surprised.
Well, he is a good person himself.
It's lovely. I'm so blessed.
Thank you so much for having me on the show. I really, really appreciate it.
It's my absolute pleasure, man. Thanks so much for taking the time as well to come on. Is there anything you'd like to close off with? Anything you'd like to tell people? We've got a few people watching as well, so is there anything you want to say, mention, or anything like that?
I would just say keep an eye out on the Kind account. It's at KindBand on Instagram. If you want to follow me, I'll be posting bits as well. It's at matty.redmond. And keep an eye on the Kind Facebook as well. So, and have an amazing evening for everyone who's watching.
Dude, you should be a presenter.
Oh, no. I will leave that to your capable hands.
You sound great. That was a great closing thing. Matthew, absolute pleasure, brother. Have a wonderful weekend yourself, and I'm sure we'll be talking very soon.
Amazing. Thank you, Kozak. Appreciate it.
See you, brother.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, guys, that was the wonderful Matthew Redmond of Kind. Definitely check out this band. I'm going to play you their song, Fix a Dopamine, guys. Hang on there and get ready for a brilliant tune. I listened to it twice again today and I got chills. I'm not even joking. I'm not even saying that out of politeness. It truly gave me chills. In a good way. By the way, thanks so much for all you guys for tuning in. Do give the video a like, please. It does help everybody involved on today's show, because it does boost the video up and it does recommend to people, so the artists that I have on the show as well get more viewage. Of course, as well, all the details of today's artists and musics are down in the description there. Do hit the subscribe button. If you guys are the first time watching this, you're very welcome to this stream. I'm Kozak DeMars and this is DeMars Live. We're on episode 22 now. I started this back in April. I've interviewed, I think, about over 100 musicians. So yeah, we've kind of improved a little bit over the while. So you're all very welcome to the deMartian Club. So do hit that subscribe button and the bell if you're feeling extra lucky. And I usually stream about 3 times a week. So we also have a Facebook page. We've got a subscribe star. It's something similar to Patreon if you wanted to donate a little bit and get some extra content. Want to give a big shout out to our deMartian Rockstars. We have Kevin Laurier, Lindsey, Vicent and Michael Arbeiter who have subscribed to our deMartian Rockstar tier. You can check out all the details in the description, guys. And I'm just looking at the chat here as well, guys. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that lovely chat we had with Matthew Redmond there, and we had our first guest as well, Anelise Furkin as well. So they're both releasing tracks before the end of the year. So let's keep an eye out for them and let's support them as well along the journey, because they're fantastic musicians. What can I say, guys? I'm sure you agree with me here. So yeah, I'm going to leave you. I'm going to play 2 more tunes, by the way, so don't go anywhere. We're going to play a little bit more tunage. We're going to play Fix a Dopamine by Kind. And we've also got one bit of independent music as well by BECAH. She's a 25-year-old indie alternative artist based in Northern Ireland. And we're going to play one of her tracks as well to close off. But for now, I'm going to leave you with Fix of Dopamine. Enjoy, guys.
I look around me now, and what is it I see? People devoid of life who live within a screen. I ask them where they're going, they just look at me. They don't really understand the minority. Please come out, I'm ready.
Wow. Yeah. Absolutely amazing. I have to put that up there in my top songs of the year, which I'm going to do at the end of this year, guys. We're going to do a top independent artists. And yeah, look, I'm saying too much already, but what a tune. Glad you just got to experience that. And yeah, Matthew Redmond, absolute legend, brother. Great chatting to you, man. And I'm happy to have listened to that once again. Maximilian Foy, brother. You know, some great artists, man. I'm so happy that I have these wonderful people around me. You know, wonderful friends around me that can recommend these fantastic bands. Lindsey as well, of course. Rebecca. And yeah, these are great. These are great for recommending tunage, have to say. So let's get one more track in, guys. Saturday night, let's get one more track into us, okay? So this is by BECAH. I'll give you a little bit of a blurb about her. So having cultivated her art playing the local scene over the last number of years, BECAH has in that time secured support slots for renowned acts, including Aslan, The Four of Us, and Brian Kennedy, most recently playing on the same bill as Brian Houston, Sam Wickens, and Amy Montgomery, which we played on Thursday, I believe. I think we played a bit of Amy Montgomery. So yeah, this is called Forget. Let me load that back up. Yeah, I know, I'm still recovering. I'm still recovering from that moment. And yeah, I had to whip out the car for something so epic, and it wasn't even enough. You know, I want to fly through space. I think I'm gonna come back maybe with a new graphic where once you get a tune that sort of almost takes you out of your body. But I don't want to spoil it. I don't want to say too much, and I don't want to make promises I can't keep. So I better stop talking. So, guys, I think I'm going to leave you with this song. I'm going to love yous and leave yous. So, before I let you go, I just want to thank yous all for tuning in this evening. Hope yous are all keeping well. Genuinely hope yous are all good. I know it's tricky times. We can't seem to get out of this. So, you do stay in touch with me if there's anything, you need to chat about or anything like that. If you just want to take part in the show, I can consider putting you in one way or another. If you need any of your music played, or if you know anybody that needs their music plays, do stay in touch. All the details are on DeMars Events and Entertainment on Facebook. You can message me through that, or there's loads of different ways. The link tree is in the description, so there's like links to everything there. If you need articles written, or you have any friends that you want to recommend, give me a show. That's what I'm here for. So this show exists because, you guys are taking part in it and interacting with it. So otherwise there would be no reason for me to do something like this. So, please do approach me and let me know if there's anything you want me to add in. And, I think that's it. Do check out all the artists. So do check out Anelise Furkin. Her details are in the description. Her Instagram is there, I believe. Matthew Redmond as well from Kind. I believe I linked Kind in the description as well, guys. So along with the artists that I've played as well. And I'll be back on Tuesday. At 6 o'clock. Do tune in. We have our international segment. Thanks to Lindsey for recommending our international artists. And we've also got Claire Nolan with us. Once again, the wonderful Claire is going to chat to us. And we're going to do a Consider This segment. I believe I will do a poll. I'm not sure what topic we're going to cover yet, but do stay in touch with us. The DeMartian community as well. One last thing, guys. One last thing. You can join us on Facebook for free. We have a community group called the DeMartian Community, and you just get updated on sort of our upcoming shows. I've been a little bit negligent of it. I'm going to hop back on there and kind of full force it a little bit more and get some more conversations going and stuff like that. Get some more polls in there and all that good stuff. So stick around with us. Last show on Tuesday before our break, so please do tune in, because you won't see me for I'm not going to say how long, but do tune in on Tuesday. Don't miss out on it. It's going to be another great show, guys. These are absolute legends. Thanks for tuning in. Love yous and leave yous. Have a fantastic weekend. And that live thing from New Zealand, let's keep an eye on New Zealand and see how they're doing music, because there seems to be some hope just yet. Take it easy, guys. Bye-bye.
think I hate you. It's supposed to be normal in love. What happened to the two of us? It seems like you got caught up with your friends, but I was still caught up in you, with a case full of hopes and dreams of you and me in our home. But now I wake to an empty space, and I'm reaching for my phone, but you're probably not alone. You said you're better off. I couldn't make you happy, love, so I'll go. Well, it's looking like we're going back to being strangers. And maybe you're right, and I'm just a waste of space, and you'll be alright without me. I never thought I'd say this, 'cause I thought I loved you enough. Can I forget it all? Well, I remember laughing with you till the night's end, and you whispered you were happier than you'd ever been when you were safe and sound, tucked inside my arms. But I remember fighting with you till the morning, and you shouted you regret it now. Said we'd ever been mad at every sound that I made. Now I'm empty armed. Well, it's safe to say I miss you.